Welcome back. You know, we're familiar with growing vegetables in our backyard garden, but what about fruit trees? I mean, if you're like me, it sounds a little intimidating, but Shawn Jadrnicek from Virginia Cooperative Extension is here to help us out. Welcome, Shawn.
Thank you for having me.
So first up, you know, what are some things that we should keep in mind when selecting a fruit tree? Because there's a lot of options out there.
Yeah, it's important to pick a fruit tree that's the correct fruit tree for our climate zones. So we have a lot of different climate zones in and around Roanoke. For example, you know, you can't really grow avocados or citrus in our area. It's too cold here in the wintertime, so you need to pick a fruit tree that suits our climate. And we have a great fact sheet available for people, through the Virginia Cooperative Extension on selecting those trees. It's also important to pick a tree that's very disease and pest resistant. If it's not disease and pest resistant, then you're basically going to have to spray it almost every week to have really pretty good looking fruits in a healthy tree.
Also, you need to know things like pollinators. I know some you need 2 trees. It's not like for instance, blueberries, like bushes, right? Don't you need like 2 of them or something like that?
Yes, that's another important consideration. Some trees are self-fertile where they don't need a pollinator, but some trees need that partner tree to pollinate it. So it's important to select the correct partner if the tree needs it. But if it doesn't need it, it's fine to just plant one.
And so that's a lot of things you got to think about. So when you talked about our climate, our hardiness zone, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
What are we like in between where we are? What are we in this region?
Yeah, so the city of Roanoke is actually a zone 7B, it's called. And you can go on the USDA's and look for USDA plant hardiness zones, and you can put in your zip code and it'll tell you exactly what hardiness zone you're in. But if you go up to the top of Bent Mountain, it might be a 6A up there.
Oh, yeah. See, that always gets me. You never really know. So you got to look into that. So what's an easy to grow, disease resistant fruit tree that we can easily plant in our own backyard?
Well, by far my favorite is the persimmon tree. Now there's the American persimmon tree, which most people are probably used to, but there's also an Asian persimmon tree that comes in a bunch of different varieties, and they are super easy to grow. You basically don't have to do very much pruning, you don't have to spray them, you just plant them and you will have an abundance of fruit. And the fruit is so tasty. The scientific name for the fruit is Diospyros, which means heavenly fruit. So if you want heavenly, divine fruit, go for the persimmon.
So you brought an example here. We have some here. I don't know if we can get close up of that. So what is what's the difference here?
Okay, so we have 2 different varieties of Asian persimmons here. Now they come in astringent, which means that you have to let them get really soft, like this one right here, before you eat it. And if you don't let it get soft, then it puckers your mouth and you'll probably never eat one again. And then there's with the Asian ones, you have the option of getting non-astringent varieties, and those are excellent because you can eat them hard like an apple, or you can let them get soft, and the flavor changes if it's hard or if it's soft. So if it's hard, it's more like a cantaloupe, a mild flavor, and then if it's soft, it's sweet like maple syrup.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, so I've never had one before, so you're gonna let me try one, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So try. That's the hard one,
This
and
is
then
the hard one.
Yep, I'll cut open the soft one, and it's so soft you'll probably need a spoon to eat this one.
Oh wow! You said like a melon, like yeah, I get that.
I don't know if you want to try the soft too.
Yeah.
Completely different flavor and
Evan, feel
texture.
free to come taste this.
You don't have to threaten me with a good time. Sneak on over, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, try that.
You said like a maple, like a syrup?
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
can
like maple
see
syrup.
that. You can. Oh my gosh, that is really good.
This is really good. And this is a soft one?
That's the hard one.
The hard one? Okay.
Yep.
You get like a melon-ish. That is really cool.
I'm not a melon person, but this actually tastes really good.
Oh, so good. Yeah, this is my favorite fruit. Super easy to grow. These ones actually harvested at a community garden in Roanoke. It was just loaded with fruit. It had never been sprayed, never pruned, and just an abundance of fruit. I went out there and there's still some more there. So if anyone wants some fruit, go out to that community garden.
That is so cool. I love that we learn something new every day. Easily grown in our own backyards. You can have your own persimmon tree. Persimmon garden, orchard, you know, pretty cool. All right, Shawn Jadrnicek with the Virginia Cooperative Extension, we thank you so much today for giving us all the dirt on growing these fruit trees at home. And we've only covered the surface. You're going to come back next month. We're going to do part 2. We'll do a little bit of a deeper dive on some fruit trees, right?
Nice. Thank you.
Something else we can eat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, thank you. All right, stick around. We'll be right back.